Hello everyone, welcome back to Resistant Front. My name is Saeed, and today we're going to have a special episode. And for that special episode, we need to get a little bit more professional. How do I look? This is actually the uniform of popular mobilization in Iran that called Basij. More than 20 million people around our country are actually wearing this holy uniform and defending the country and defending the constitution in that regard. This uniform will not give me any kind of credibility. I am not a member of any organization. It doesn't matter if it's governmental or military. And I am just representing myself as a geopolitical analyst. This is just for prop, it's for aesthetics. This is a military video, and the team of the video is going to be a military analyst. So I said to myself that this will give me a better look. So legal issues are aside, in our country you are not allowed to wear and represent any kind of organization, especially with the uniform, if you are not from that organization and you are not on a mission to do so. So these were the legal issues. Let's put them aside and get to business. Let's talk about how United States and Venezuela war will turn out and what Venezuela should do in order to bring United States to its knees. So, the geography of Venezuela is actually one of the most challenging places on earth. The lush forest around the country, especially the Amazon forest, they are actually quite challenging, and it will give a huge advantage to a smaller force that want to resist and a stronger occupier, especially United States and all these big military spenders. They have sophisticated weaponry that most of the time in a land invasion they are not going to be useful, especially if there are natural obstacles and terrain that go against all their tactics. You can see that in Afghanistan, the mountains inside Ukraine, all the muddy terrain and other muddy plains. And at the same time, you can see that the United States was bogged down inside Vietnam. And the same principles can actually happen and occur inside Venezuela. If Venezuela can use their equipment and their weapons in the right manner and with the right tactic, I assure you that they can become a deadly force to reckon with. So defending is always easy. At least it's easier than attacking. And you are at home, you know your country, you know how the situation works, and you can actually be prepared for an invasion. And preparations are essential for every kind of battlefield. If you want to get inside a country, you need preparation. And for those that want to sit in their homeland and be invaded, they can actually defend themselves and be prepared for it. So, as much as Venezuela has advantage for terrain in the homeland, United States is at disadvantage. For a landing operation, they need to use the east coast lines of Venezuela in order to have any kind of amphibious landing. And at the same time, the countries that are willing to participate in an invasion, they are limited. Venezuela is not alone. You can see the government of Lula da Silva and the Petro government inside Colombia, they are all behind him. And Venezuela has a lot of strong allies outside and over the ocean. Russia, China, and Iran. For multiple decades, the goodwill and strong relationship between Iran and Venezuela has two similar countries that are reliant on oil, and at the same time they have a revolution that want to keep, and they want the integrity and sovereignty of their country be and stay intact. So the cooperation of Iranians and Venezuelans are actually quite deep, and a lot of weaponry was given as a license for Venezuela to mass produce for themselves. I'm going to talk about all these weapons, but before that, let's see how United States going to operate. From the land, Brazil and Colombia are not viable, but Guyana is still a country that can be pushed around. It's not that strong, and the ideology is weak, and a country in the brink of bankruptcy, and these countries are always can get a little bit more help from United States and Big Brother. At the same time, Trinidad and Tobago it's a simple island. There is no sovereignty with these small countries. They can easily be pushed around. That's why United States and England, in specific, they're looking for separating and totally balkanizing every big country, especially Iran, Russia, and China. At the same time, they're trying to stay strong with creating unions like European Union and United States, but they don't want that for their enemies. The same principles that Gaddafi in Libya actually tried to unify the whole Africa and create their own currency. That didn't went well for them. You can see the notion of creating a united Latin America is actually something that many countries really want in South America. United States is far from home. It is not as far as Iran or Russia, but at the same time, the friends are actually limited. There are not many big friends that with good infrastructure in order to conduct aerial bombardment and raids and actually use the weapons that they sold to them as some sort of borrowed assets that they can use against the country that they don't like. You can see in Middle East, they can use Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and obviously Israel in order to attack Iran. But the same principles doesn't apply inside South America. None of these countries are willing to participate in that regard. Maybe just Argentina actually creates some headaches for South Americans, but the rest are totally against United States. So any kind of analyst, without actually considering the ideology of the country that you are analyzing, without considering what people think and how their culture and how their whole society work, without considering these, every kind of analyst would be dead wrong. As a person that follows United States extensively as the main adversary of Islamic Republic, and at the same time, follows the Bolivarian revolution inside Venezuela as one of the main allies in South America. I can definitely tell you that the ideology inside Venezuela will give the Bolivarian government huge advantages. Maduro is a strong leader, not as strong as Hugo Chavez, but he is truly understand the game of politics, and he knows how to play, and he is indeed a leader that people can get behind. And you can see with this simple word of a threat that United States made against this country, millions actually went on the streets and protested against the aggression that United States is showing toward their country. With the false pretenses of WMD that they invaded Iraq, they are doing the same thing. And the facade and the propaganda in these past couple of days actually totally fall apart, and everyone around the world now knows that United States is not there to actually beat the narco traffickers, and they're not there for American interests. They are just simply sugarcoating it and creating a facade around the total invasion and overthrow of a democratic elected government, a democracy inside South America. You can see they're under threat, an imminent threat. The siege that they created around Venezuela, it's an imminent and existential threat for Venezuelan people and their democracy. It is totally obvious that the United States, as an imperialistic country, has some prejudice toward any kind of revolutionary ideas in this world that they created. It doesn't matter how unjust and how unfair the system and the world order that they created. Nobody allows to actually try to secede from it. Nobody is allowed to actually act against it. After the Bolivarian Revolution by Hugo Chavez, you can see that they've been steadfast on their principles, and not every country, when the time of emergency comes, they stand on their principles and basic understanding of the world. You can see that inside Syria, United States is a country that always gloated about democracy, freedom of speech, and human rights. They are actually aligning themselves with Al Qaeda and ISIS in order to bring down the democratic elected government of Bashar al Assad, with the false pretenses of using chemical weapon against his own people. They actually made a lot of propaganda and a narrative against Bashar al Assad. And it looks like people of Syria are truly suffering for all the imperialistic goals of United States. The same principles can happen to Venezuela, and people of Venezuela, with a Bolivarian revolution that based upon socialist thinking and at the same time anti-imperialistic point of view toward the world, and as a country that always had a negative uh, point of view toward the Western regimes and the Western governments. And the same principles happened when United States invaded Iraq and Afghanistan in 2001, Afghanistan, and 2003 Iraq. In both circumstances, Venezuela strongly condemned the attack and the invasion. And at the same time, you can see that throughout these years, Iran and Venezuela multiple times condemned the Western hegemon against their unfair and unjust and illegal unilateral sanctions against both country and their people. So the notion of anti-imperialistic and anti-American narrative is strong in Venezuela, and 4.5 million popular mobilization is not something that every country can hit in a couple of weeks. That itself shows the huge amount of support that Maduro government has, and at the same time the ideology of socialism and the ideology of anti-imperialism is actually strong. So these will give the Bolivarian government huge amount of propaganda to work with, and actually bring up all the people and rally them behind the flag in order to oppose United States regime change operation inside Venezuela. The enemy always play an important role. United States is a vicious imperialistic country that always acted for the self-interest of some few inside their country and maybe even outside, for example, Israel. They always tried their best to do whatever it takes in order to get whatever they want. and they don't care about the people, they don't care about the public opinion. They just want something, and the money that is waiting for them there is just restless, and they will go in recklessly in order to get it. They don't care about the people that they live there. They don't care about the legitimacy of those governments that are ruling over, and they want the oil, they want the resources, and they will do anything to get it. Venezuela uh, have a lot of things to work with. The morality high ground belongs to Venezuela as a country that supported Palestine, and in the genocide that's happening inside Palestine by the occupiers. You can see that they bought themselves a lot of support from outside and inside the country. Bring people to help their own country, or other than that, it would be a total overthrow of a government. A puppet state will come along. The instability and insecurity will follow, because simply they don't want to buy the oil. They want to actually drill it, and they want to use the previous and present equipment in order to extract the oil and bring the prices down, because they want to invade Iran. They want to lay waste to the whole Middle East in order to stop the export of oil to China. So, with those in mind, let's go to the next chapter. So, diplomacy is always one of the main weapons of every state. They should not be underestimated, and the political pressure, but all the allies of the free world that they can apply in United States, and every illegal action, unlawful action that they are conducting, there should be a price to pay. It's if you are allow in illegal actions stay unpunished, you are just rewarding the aggression, you are rewarding the aggressor, and you are allowing them to actually pursue their interests recklessly without any consideration of the country, or their own people, and the ones that they are trying to show aggression against. The international law should hold United States accountable. That cannot continue. This kind of rogue behavior by United States, that you can see they are using totally false uh, narrative in order to push their own agenda, and in order to make illegal things look legal, and their own inside laws they're trying to implement, and actually project their own laws on others. That cannot continue, and that should stop, and it only can happen when the other countries put immense amount of pressure on every action of United States in order to keep them at bay, or other than that, the world will be more chaotic than it is. Making people ready is another main factor. All the countries, like what happened inside Syria, if the support of the people is not behind your back, if you are not able to show your own people your competency, it doesn't matter if everything is in ruin. If you are living the same, if you are living by example, if you are telling you to your people that we have one single bread and we're going to split it to 20 million pieces, and each one of us have a piece. When people see that you are trying your best, it doesn't matter where you are and who you are and what you are doing. It will People will follow you, because they simply see you as an honest person, as a person that is not there for power, it's not there for money. You can see that the support that Syrian people shown in 10 years of dirty war against Bashar al-Assad was actually totally remarkable. But and the resistance that people shown was remarkable. But unfortunately, Bashar al-Assad didn't live by example. He lived a luxurious life. He didn't show it much, but there are some dubious actors and media that they try to show the luxurious life of him and make him look bad in front of people. People don't care when they are suffering. They don't care that their leader is strong and is standing all behind them and doing all things that he should have done. But they see you, that are you suffering with us? Are you with us? These things are important, and leaders should actually follow by example, especially the financially. Is something that people can see and people can judge. You can see that inside Venezuela, people are not living in poverty. Obviously, poverty is always all over the world, but you can see with all the devastation of sanctions that the United States is trying to create in order to people. Indeed, we all know the sanctions, the goal of sanctions, and the target of sanctions, it's not the government, it's the people, and the goal of it is overthrown of a government. They want the people to be in misery, and they want to suffer people in order to they overthrow their government and actually act against their own interests. The prolong and long-term interests that every country with integrity and independency can achieve. You can see that they are pushing you to overthrow your government for short-term benefits that they will never give you. So people should understand, and this is partially not all things can be actually achieved in one night with just saying that, okay, I am being threatened, now let's get back to people. That cannot happen. You need to constantly work on your people and make them understand that the world that they should see is from your perspective, not anyone else, because your perspective is the perspective that going to bring prosperity, integrity, and dignity to people and their country. In any kind of other perspective is wrong, and the only one that has the best in heart for people and the country is the governing body of that country. So people are really important. People in that regard are truly important. After after you made the people ready for a war, and a prolonged war, not just a simple war, and the notion and the rhetoric should not be that make people panic. It should be like the way that they can rely on the government. It should be courageous. It should be super nationalistic, and you should make people understand that there are some dubious actors outside, like in Israel and United States, that they want to take over the resources of the country, and they don't care about the people. And the truth is, that's the exact thing that they want to do. So you should give examples like Libya, Syria, what happening inside Sudan. So all these are good examples to give to your own people in order to make them understand that any kind of invasion will make the situation even worse. So the people inside are the most important factor, even more important than the invasion itself. Because if you can walk on a solid ground, you can then talk about the tactics and the techniques that you are using to defeat the enemy. The ground inside, the ground under under the foot of a fighter is the most important one. The ground are the people. After that, we're going to get ready for prolonged war. The propaganda should be like this: a lot of supplies being drawn to the jungles, the woods, the streets, the cities should start being sealed, and the bunkers should be created, and you should see a lot of movement inside the country, the military movement, the people mobilization. You should start, I believe the Maduro himself should start wearing uniform, just like you saw that in a couple of videos that he actually started wearing military uniform. It is really important to make people get ready and at the same time actually being prepared for prolonged war. The propaganda itself of bringing a lot of supplies into woods will send a message to United States that these guys are not going out without a fight. They are getting ready for a prolonged guerrilla warfare. So that will deter a lot from an invasion toward the country, and the others will start thinking about, let's negotiate our way out of this. Okay, let's not start the war, because it looks like these guys are really going to fight for every inch of their country, from the beach to the cities to the jungles. They will obliterate and they will kill as many as they can, and they will fight for every each of their territory. So that's not something viable for us. Let's just actually let's just give some concessions and let's secure the oil. But they know that the oil will not be secure. They know that they only should accept defeat or victory. So there is no middle ground. If Maduro government is in power, the moment that they start invasion of Iran, he will block the oil. He will not allow a cheap price of the oil in order to damper the price of oil. He will not allow any of that, and he is willing to pay the price. And that's the important part, that resistance actually has a price, that every resistant group, every resistant nation, and every resistant people should pay the price in order to defeat a colossal of an empire that want to subdue them and capitulate them. The next part is actually be a little bit more controversial, because it depends on how far you are trusting and how many loyal friends Maduro has, how much trust you have in your military, how much trust you have in your people, how much you cared about them, and you are assured that politicians, like a couple of the politicians that we saw United States actually brought out of their pocket in order to create a legitimate alternative for Maduro. So they know these people have an ideology. These people are not the people that everyone can rule over. An American cannot rule over people of Venezuela, and they cannot invade and take over their country in order to rule over them. The ideology will not allow it. The people of Venezuela lived long time without any kind of oppressive regime, a colonialist state actually rule over them. Their freedom, the Bolivarian revolution, is something that they were not willing to lose. So Maduro himself should understand that he is the most important person in that country. He is the bulwark of Bolivarian revolution. These countries are teen democracies, okay, with the overthrowing of one government, a temporary government. These are temporary governments, 4 years, 6 years. These are not the permanent governments. So simply by overthrowing him, they can totally change the constitution. They can totally change everything, and 180-degree difference between what we had and what we have. Just like what happened inside Ukraine. They simply overthrown the government and they installed another one. So you can see that he is the most important part. And keeping him safe is the most important mission of military. The military, the moment that the siege started, you can see that what United States is doing, it's the siege, it's the intimidation tactic. They're trying to intimidate, and you can the good of a Trump administration is that Trump Trump will say everything that is happening inside the door, inside the rooms and behind the closed doors. He actually gave an order to CIA to overthrow him. So they're probably going to call all the politicians, call all the military generals, and give them impunity, and give them and promise them positions and money in a good place in United States, a good place in UK. These people exist, and loyalty is something. The trust that you have in your own people and your own administration is something, but stupidity is something else. You should not at all trust anyone at these circumstances. There are some close allies of yours. Do not trust them as well. Have some always have some room for betrayal, okay? Because the only people that betray you are the ones that actually you trust. Because if there is no trust, there is no betrayal. All right. You can do this by every country actually can do this by shuffling the generals. Okay, do not let them stay in one place. If they want to betray you, they will actually signal the enemy that I am in this place. This place is secure. Don't worry about it. So shuffling them and giving them jobs, giving them jobs that they should do, it will actually preoccupy them in order to not betray you. And when they are actually acting for the building of the country, if they are acting and they are getting, their roots are getting deeper, you can see that it will create a lot of loyalty. At the same time, the economy, especially the military, the military personnel, they should get a raise, okay, for the hardship of the situation, and they have to be on shifts and they have to work harder. There should be a raise. All of them, they should get the raise. And at the same time, keep close, keep those that are most unloyal to you, or if they turn against you, they can create a legitimate government body and a legitimate alternative for you. They should be the most close one to you. The moment that these kind of things occur, you can manage the situation. And at the same time, you can see Venezuela is actually it's not a small country. The trains are totally different, and the economy is actually quite extraordinary. They are not in a small economy. So the train should be used. So all of the train, the tactics that they are using, the military should start dividing and giving every single city a couple of people that they can create their own resistant groups inside those city for urban warfare, and starting the training of the people tactically, because it doesn't matter how much you train the people, because the quantity is high, quality will get low. So the tactics are more important than the quality of the soldiers. If they know when they should fire the weapons, they will gain the experience along the way. But that's the most important part. And any kind of reform in economy, any kind of fighting corruption, they should be all on hold. There shouldn't be any kind of reform in the governing body. There shouldn't be any promises at this point for concessions toward that I will leave the government. These things are detrimental. You should not do any of those things. If you start arresting people for corruption, especially from your own government, or any kind of big corruption that existed in your country, it will show weakness. That's a blood inside the sea, and the sharks will start gathering. There shouldn't be any kind of reform, economic reform, at this situation, because only will get it will just make you look weak and desperate. You should not show any of that. And at the same time, there should be on lower levels these thieves, these people that try to put a lot of food and essential of the people in the storages for short profit. All of these should they should be arrested, and the propaganda and arresting these people that are taking hostage of the people's essential and their well-being should be the main propaganda, that the country is fighting against the corruption, but the real reforms should not happen at that time. Okay, so these are actually really important. Let's go in the next section. So after the government is safe and the people understand the assignments, it should be a total dispersion of your military assets. This will create more time for responding, and at the same time, it will take away the advantage of hitting everything in one blow, and it will give the Venezuelan government it actually more advantage in order to defend, and dispersing the assets throughout the country, especially the air defense systems and anti-ship missiles or cruise missiles that can help to defend the country afterward. At least 50% of every mobile air defense system should be somewhere safe. There shouldn't be any concentration. Those safe places should be all over the place. And the moment that enemy invaded the country, their use is going to be evident. Another thing is the fighter jets. The fighter jets are the most important assets because United States air raids and air supremacy is the main goal and the main weapon, and it's in the vanguard of United States military. So every country that want to fight United States, they should understand that immediately the air supremacy is going to be totally decimated. They are not going to have any kind of air supremacy, and air supremacy, it's kind of important especially in conventional warfare. So fighting conventionally is stupid, especially against United States, because they will decimate your army without you having any kind of resistance toward it. So fighting unconventionally is the main objective of the war. So dispersion, hiding, and even bring them to other countries like Brazil, especially the fighter jets and all the airports. If you have an airport that it's deep in a country, that should be the main objective of keeping that place safe. That's the main objective. They should not have any kind of reliable air force that is staying on the beaches, because the aircraft carriers and the airports of Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana can actually have a huge impact in the battlefield, especially the United States that has enormous amount of planes. That will create a lot of headaches for Venezuela. So they should effectively think that they don't have air supremacy, but the important part is that I'm going to, when we get to war, I'm going to talk about it. So the next one is actually really controversial, because simply put it, the main objective of this war, the main objective of the United States invading Venezuela is oil. So they need the equipment that Maduro has built inside the country. They need the infrastructure in order to extract and refine the oil. Plant bomb all over them. Planting bomb all over those oil fields will actually give the government huge advantage. In my opinion, there should be three kind of bombing. The first one is actually should be the sabotage, the simple sabotage before the invasion. Simple sabotage of computers, of systems that they can fix easily. They can be fixed easily. That after that sabotage, That's going to take 1 or 2 weeks for United States to fix them up. The second one should be bombing plants, unconventional. I'm not talking about a C4 plant on a no that dynamite. I'm not talking about those. The unconventional shapes. There are a lot that can be actually put out as an example, but it shouldn't be obvious that they are being planted. And a reliable way of detonating it should be totally something that without any kind of doubt can actually be implemented. Other than that, if that's not viable, blow some parts that are not essential, but it will take at least 6 months to rebuild and repair those places, and the whole place can be operational again. So the second part is the plant bombs and wait for United States and their engineers to actually run the refinery, run the oil rigs again, and then explode them. Detonating those will actually create chaos and a lot of headache for administration inside the United States. The people will push the administration, the elites will push administration that this is not going as it was planned. The third one, the third type should be actually when you understand that this war is actually so prolonged that they're going to fix everything and they're going to use it. So these should be the ones that totally fatal for the whole infrastructure, and the infrastructure itself becomes totally rendered and useless for any kind of use of an invader. This is going to be controversial, but I believe that they should not threat it. Okay, there shouldn't be any threat that we will blow up our own rigs and our own refineries and infrastructure if you attack us. That should not be something that they know. Okay, because they will find a way and they will play more cautious in order to diffuse everything. They will probably going to they're going to find a way in order to actually disarm those bombs, or simply not allow you to make a move on those infrastructures. So that's the important part. The United States should lose the advantage of gaining the positions of oil rigs, and there shouldn't be much resistance on those oil rigs. Okay, you don't want them to actually get damaged for no reason. So the elites that they are pushing this war, and the elites, Zionist elites, that they are trying to push the war against Iran, if there is no oil for Venezuela, they will not continue the occupying the country, and they will not try to invade Iran. So it's something that you are totally taking away the whole reason of the war. So let's let's pretend that the United States didn't want to invade, and the only thing that they want to do is to create siege, and there is not going to be any air raid, and they are containing themselves. They didn't brought all those facilities and all those ships and all those equipments in order to let it go. That's not it. They are going to invade. So the first thing that the government should do is actually provoke the Americans. They should be provoked in order to make the first move. Making the first move is important. You should not allow the Americans get ready for everything and every scenario, and then they invade and create a huge blow. The total opposite should be true. I am not talking about an aggression toward Americans. No, a provocation. Venezuelan army should provoke Americans in order to they make the first move. The speedboats that Islamic Republic gave to Venezuela, and they are mass producing it. The Drones, drone warfare. We have a couple of type of drones, the combat drones, the big ones, Mohajer 6, I believe. The smaller ones for only reconnaissance, the quadcopters can actually do the job. The suicide drones like Shahed and obviously Arash and small MPVs, they can actually be uh, utilized in massive amount, and it can deal huge amount of damage. United States soldiers, they don't believe in democracy, they don't believe in freedom, they are not there for that. These Gen Zs and millennials, they know what's going on. They know that their country invaded Iraq for no reason, they know they invaded Afghanistan for no reason, and they know there is nothing to be gained here. These are all for Zionists, so they will not fight to the teeth. If anything in any capacity go wrong outside of the training, everything will become survival. So you always should cut some slacks for Americans and create a room for them to escape to. Okay, if you push them too hard, it doesn't matter if it's on the beach, if it's on the cities, you should always leave them some room to run away to, because they're cowards. They will not stay to fight. They are moving toward the goal, and if the goal is unachievable, they will run away. You should not block their path. You should let them go, just like a cat. When you are cornering a cat, they will show fang and they will show aggression, but if you let them and you give them some space, they will run away. And with the amount of experience that Iranians actually achieved in wars inside Iraq and Afghanistan, the huge amount of experience that Iran actually have in the dirty war against Bashar al-Assad in Syria, in the war against Israel in inside Lebanon, inside Gaza, and Houthis inside Yemen. You can see that all these experiences actually showing one thing and one thing alone: that United States, if they hit a strong wall, they will back away. They will not be able to continue a pointless war, because when you are showing aggression toward their ships, toward their crews, they're not there to die. There is nothing after life for these people. They are there for the college, for the food, for the a job that their grandparents or parents actually push them toward. They're there out of desperation. They're not there for dying, but the total opposite in all the countries that I named is actually applying. That we are living to defend our ideology. We are living to defend our countries. We are living to defend our democracy. All these are gathering and creating a huge, huge ideology that can actually be trusted in the moment of need. I don't know how far, there is no way anyone can tell. War is actually a door that you open to a dark room. When you enter, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So there is no way you can tell that if United States invade Venezuela, it doesn't matter if all things that I'm saying in 100 times fold, they done it. There is no insurance that they will win, and there is no insurance that even everything that I'm saying divided to 100, that they will be able to defeat Venezuela. So it all depends on the people and the will of the people. So I actually talked about provocation. So I believe the best way to provoke these people is from the sea. They should get ready for bombing Trinidad and Tobago ports and airports. Guyana, I don't know how they are taking position, but we know that the colony of French is actually viable for Americans. So bombing these cities, only bombing these ports in these countries actually will create more headache than it's worth it. but you should be ready if they gave any kind of place and location to Americans. You should have the ability to bomb them. So you always need to take care of your planes, and especially the bombs that you want to fire at the enemy. But the provocation can come with speedboats. Speedboats are almost the cheapest way that you can have any kind of naval warfare. In couple of hundred, they should use storm tactics. So the tactic itself should be like this: a couple of boats should approach Americans, and if they start firing at them, or just simply a couple of warning shots, they should continue. You are an aggressor. Why are you inside our territorial water? Why are you actually creating this siege? We are here to show you the justice for all the killings. It's, I think, 80 people by now are being killed illegally. It doesn't matter if they are narco traffickers or they are fishermen. If you are killing people without any kind of due process, that's illegal. You cannot kill narco traffickers simply because they have some drugs with them and they're trying to supply it to United States. So that actually will create the provocation. The moment that they hit them, United States is a country that they cannot hold a lot of casualties, and they can operate the same. So the first principle should be a barrage of anti-ship missiles on board of all those boats. Why do we need this provocation? Why this is essential in order to defeat United States? When the siege is being sealed, and you can see discontent inside your country because everything will get more stressed out, and the intimidation will actually empty the hearts of a lot of people that are around you. So they will start getting phone calls by CIA, and that's something that you need to put down immediately. You need to galvanize and rally the people behind the flag. The best way to do so is to break the glass of this fear against United States mighty army. The fear itself is stronger than United States army. So you need to break it down. You need to make them understand that these are flesh and blood. These are steel. We can break them. We can kill them. They are not unkillable. If they can bleed, they can be killed. So empty all the weapons that you have. Those boats will not stay intact. If the war starts, they're going to take them out. So use them while you can. If you have any kind of outside control, like you can see Iranians have it, Russians have it, and they are willing to actually make a kamikaze and banzai movement toward any kind of American ship and take it down with a simple explosive device inside their couple of $1,000 speedboat. That can actually help a lot. So you see the huge blow to the morality of American, and inside United States is not a pro-war country anymore. They saw how corrupt their government is and how much they are being profited out of these wars. So they will resist to all these boys and girls to not be killed senselessly. So that attack actually can create a lot of casualty for Americans if they are being conducted well, and if United States can't actually defend their ships. So after that, it's going to be hell to pay. United States will not at any shape or form hold back. So shock and awe will be the first response of United States. All the military bases, all the presidential palace, it's a deathbed. Maduro should not be there. Anyone that are important should not be there. Iran or Russia or China, they probably built an amazing bunker for Maduro. For a couple of hours, especially the first couple of hours, he should go there. If it's hidden, it's all good. And if it has some passages that you can get away from behind, and there is some places that you can actually run away from, you should not stay there. You better to go out into the woods, into the suburbs of all cities. That's the best place. No electronics, no communication. They should attack, and after that attack, they will and even you can spread the rumors that Maduro is killed, and that will actually create a lot of chaos in the country. Okay, you need that chaos. People desperateness should actually come out, that we are defenseless now, and after that you can come out as a hero. You can never, there is no way you can from now on give any kind of live TV show or live report or live anything. Live it's a death sentence for you. So there should be a recording. You can put it out there for the people so they can understand. And so after that, the true war will start. The true war will start. And this war, from inside, Americans will be under pressure. From outside, your friends are putting them at pressure. From now on, it all depends on the tactics, especially guerrilla warfare. There shouldn't be any engagement, especially on the air. They should push and make the planes go cold, but they should not go on any kind of advancement toward the enemy. You should bog them down, let them come inside the cities. Then you can create 10 people with one commander that acts as cell. So every inch that they are pursuing inside the cities, there is a resistant group that firing weapons against them. And these small groups are actually easier to manage by inexperienced people. So all that 4.5 million people are now can have huge amount of leverage, and it will give you a lot of power in order to resist the occupation. And the propaganda is actually really important. All those attacks, they will hit the cities, they will hit the hospitals, they will hit the schools. Nothing is sacred to Americans. So the propaganda is that you just film and show it to people. That itself will create a lot of resentment and a lot of hate toward Americans, and it will strengthen the whole resistance even more. You can see that inside Gaza, inside Lebanon, in Iran, Iraq, Syria, Houthis in Yemen, after all these attacks, they have morality high ground, because they are not the ones that killing children and women of Americans. Americans are doing that to them. And the goal of American, it's immoral. They want money, they want oil, they want occupation. It's another lose for them. So all these are happening, and all these are actually a tool in the hand of government in order to convince the people to rally behind the flag and keep them all united in order to fight the enemy. That's really important. That's the same principles for Iran. Iranians always have a lot of issues. It's a democratic country. We always argue about everything. But the moment that Americans invaded Iran, everyone got united. Everyone started getting behind the flag, and everyone started talking about that we will defend the United States. And you can see the rhetoric is actually being continued by Islamic Republic to even solidify the unity behind the flag, behind the Iran. We can argue as much as we want about everything that we want, but when it comes to Iran, when it comes to the country, You should all be united. And that's actually really important. I talked about that half of every asset, it doesn't matter if it's air defense system or anti-ship missiles, you should actually put them back. Put back all the fighters should be drawn back to the depth of the country. Strategic depth is really important to use. So now United States invaded the country. You have shown some conventional resistance on the shore. You got some casualties, but obviously United States have air supremacy. They're going to bomb everywhere and everyone. After they landed and they are after the huge blow that you are dealt to them, they have to come inside now, but they don't have enough men. They will come in and they're not ready for it. It's not 500,000 population and army ready to conquer the Venezuela. So the first thing is actually blow up the oil rigs. You can see that that will create huge amount of controversy inside the United States among the elites. That guys, now we can't use those oils from now on. It's all going to be lost. Every cost that you are actually willing to do, in every atrocity that you are willing to do in order to secure the oil, it's not available anymore. We have to do something about this. So the resentment between the elites will actually rise. So now United States cannot continue the shock and awe operation. They have to resupply. They have to conserve on their ammunition. So they know that this war is not going to end soon. So they will start using their ammunition more conservatively. So now the fighters can actually help with long stand missiles or ammunition that can hurt the enemy. The resistance inside every city can hurt the enemy. Coordinating the army and the resistance, it actually can create huge impact. The conventional and unconventional methods are worse for every army to go against. More importantly, the anti-ship missiles, they are now can be bring in. After they win a battlefield, they will the confidence actually will start build up, and the anger with your preemptive attack actually will create a lot of hate. So they come closer. They want to use their cannons. They want to use the full capacity and capability of their planes. So the carriers will get a little bit closer. So the first thing that they will do, that you can do, is actually shooting anti-ship missiles here and there at them, especially at night. It's really hard for them to recognize these ships, and Houthi actually created a lot of headache for United States, especially when they were trying to target these anti-ship missiles. It's devastating for an army to be always on a constant alert. You need to hurt their mentality. So these are all will try to create depreciation for their mental health, and the warrior type that United States is trying to create out of their shallow army. So that will create huge blow, and after that, sending Shahed drones are the best ones, and using small drones, suicide small drones, to take out the soldiers or their tanks or their equipment one by one. It actually can create huge headache for Americans. But most importantly, you should have starting to create air supremacy and create an ambiguous air supremacy for the enemy. So your air supremacy should be in depth of your country, and the air ambiguity, that they don't know that if they are sending the F-18, it's gonna be shut down. It's gonna get shut down. It should be always a risk. So that's why I'm talked about that all the mobile air defense systems should be hidden, and after the war starting to be conducted, it's actually easier to finding the drones. You can come search the place, you didn't find anything, okay, pack up and leave. That will create a unconventional conventional warfare, and it is devastating for any army that they are constantly under threat of being under threat of getting killed. So I believe that after a couple of months, United States will surrender and they will pack up and leave. But obviously, United States cannot take a total loss. So Maduro can then come and start doing negotiations with United States. Uh, and the other ones can actually put more pressure on United States. Security Council should actually try to pass all sort of condemnation against United States. All these will create a lot of resentment inside Venezuela and outside against United States. And in my humble opinion, Venezuela, from the ideology to geography to what they have as weapons, they can actually defeat United States, and even if they are not defeating them, they will render their operational readiness, and it will be a huge blow to American empire. But at the end of the day, I believe they will not be able to win the fight if they are conducting their warfare more smarter than Americans. Americans are cocky. The American exceptionalism is actually strong, and most of the time they always pretend that they have the best. But you can see that after World War II, there is not even a single war that they won. Even the battlefields, you can see that they are unable to win the battlefields. Um, so, do I believe that Americans will start a war with Venezuela, hypothetically? To be honest, no, I do not believe that the United States will invade Venezuela uh, if they are rational, because we can see that United States is following the footsteps of Israel, and Israel, for many analysts, they cannot predict Israel because Israel is not acting rationally. Israel thinks that the 80-year of governing of Jewish nation cannot be achieved because they didn't have any government lasting more than 80 years. So they don't believe that if they continue whatever they were doing, it's not going to be viable for them. So they are getting aggressive, and they have some messianic thinking that they are driving them toward this madness. Attacking 7 countries in 2 years, that's not something that any kind of rational actor would do. Especially invading Iran was the worst thing that they could do to actually totally break all the achievements that they achieved in genociding the people of Gaza, killing a lot of people in Lebanon, invading and destroying the country that we know as Syrian Republic, and now you can see a terrorist is actually ruling over that country. All those are not irrational thinking and rational behavior. So I do not believe that United States is being controlled by Israel. It's going to have any kind of rationality toward Venezuela. But I actually gave this analyst as someone simply. I'm following these news. I'm following for almost a decade. I'm following all these news and all the articles, all the media. uh, the indication of siege against Venezuela is actually an overthrown operation. Let's hope that the war will not happen, and let's pray for people of Venezuela, and let's hope that the war will not happen and Venezuelan government can stay sovereign and independent and powerful like it is now. God bless you guys for watching this analyst. Let me know if you believe I'm wrong, if anything in any capacity you think I am not a professional, that I am not claiming to be. But if you think if you are a professional, please give me your honest opinion. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. God bless you guys. Goodbye.